All right, so you used to ride bikes when you were younger. Let's say you're 30, 35, maybe 40. Maybe like me, you're 42. Maybe you're over 40. What should you do to get back into riding? We're gonna talk about that today. All right, what's up, Drivetrain? We are starting this new series today. This is how I got back into riding. So I used to race when I was in high school. You know, we rode all around the neighborhoods. We built our own trails. We had a blast. We were the kids riding down the street with a camcorder in a backpack, shovels in hand, pickaxe in hand, ratty old racing plate on the bike, just tearing down the street to go build our trails. That was us. That's what we did. Then we found a track that was about 30 minutes north of us. It was on somebody's like backyard on their farmland, and it was to us it was the greatest thing ever. We were so stoked to get there, to find this place. Had a big old step up, had some tabletops, had some a little bit of a rhythm section, and it had a little fly out on the side that we could really, you know, it was probably a 5-foot fly out of just dirt. And so we practiced all kinds of stuff, man. We had a blast out there. But that's how we got into racing. Then we traveled around the state and we raced in the state circuit. So for us, we had a track at Hampton, we had a track in Winchester, then we had our track in here in Richmond. And these tracks are not like they are today. I've actually got some footage from like the late 90s or early 90s, 93, 94, of what those tracks looked like that some other people had put back up. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about how did I get back into it. So that was when I was 16, 17, 18 years old, and then I started racing again at age 40. So there was a gap in there. And what did I do? Was I always riding BMX? Was I always on a bike? No, not always. This is gonna be more of a, hey, here's some good ideas, some ways to get started. So we'll talk in some later videos about what to look for in a bike when you're getting it, you know, sizes and things. There's a lot of stuff to consider. I don't recommend just buying a kid's bike, getting on it, because it's just not gonna feel right. It's not gonna fit right. It's not gonna do anything for your confidence. This is a 24-inch cruiser that I've got here. This is more of a race bike, but a 24-inch bike is a great way to get started onto it. I've got my practice seat on it right now, so it's a little high, much higher than my race seat, which is down at the bottom. I do have 20-inch that I race now, but I started on a 24-inch cruiser. It was more of a street bike. Now it was heavy, it had big, thick tires on it, but we'll talk more about the bike in a minute. I found some bikes that I built for my friends and got them on the track, and they came out a time or two and got excited, and then started feeling that excitement of when they were 16 years old again, and that was when it turned bad. That's when they started trying to jump off the tabletop a little bit and catch a little air and just kind of jump right into it. And they were on the bike for like 2 weeks, maybe 2 days, and it comes back to you real quick up in your brain. And you've got bike skills ingrained in you, but you got to refine these things. So I want to take you through how I refine my skills. That's what we're going to talk about today. And it all starts in this fantastic open parking lot that's wide open with nobody around except for you guys and me. And this is exactly where I started and what I started doing. So I'm going to take you along for the ride, and in a couple minutes we'll have a blast and get some ideas. All right, let's get it. All right, step one, get a helmet. Wear a helmet. We didn't wear helmets when we were kids. I know that. You got responsibility now. You like own a car or have a job, have kids, have a house. You gotta pay your own insurance now. Save your head, man. Let's do it. So the figure eight is a classic skills builder that's used by all skill levels. Getting comfortable with your hip position and balance while turning, it's really the best place to start. Don't forget, in this game, you don't get to sit down. This practice seat's just for getting me warmed up if I'm on my trainer, or like this morning when I biked my kids to school, I decided to ride this one because the seat was already on it. But don't sit down. You're gonna put all the weight on your legs. So curbs are a free way to work on balance and get you ready for landing when you get to bunny hops and jumps. That's later on, but this is where it starts. First, you want to work on pulling up your front wheel just a little bit so your tires land at the same time. Eventually, we want to work on getting the back tire to land first. This sets us up for control when we're jumping later on. So the manual is a glorified wheelie, but without pedaling. You want to toss your butt back and keep your arms straight and kind of locked, and see if you can ride on the back wheel. Eventually you use your hips and your knees to kind of adjust how your balance point is. Don't worry, this takes time, and the bigger the bike is, the harder this is going to be. So 20-inch has it a little easier than maybe a cruiser on a 24-inch. All right, the bunny hop is a combination of a manual and a little jump of the entire body. We worked on landing earlier, so now we get to work on getting the bike up off the ground. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Listen, I hope you start to put this stuff into practice. Take your time getting back on the bike. There's no rush, okay? And we've got time that we can start to work on these skills, refine the skills, and get the bike back underneath us. Just getting on this thing like 2-3 days a week. That's what I was doing. I was taking my kids to a playground that had a black top, or even just a parking lot or something. Let them play. I'd do some figure eights. Maybe I had a curb because we were at their school, and I'd jump off the curb a little bit. Just getting used to landing with the bike underneath me, bending my knees when I landed. Manuals are still a thing. I still practice manuals all the time. But anyway, we are going to go to the track for the next video and start to work on just getting around the track and having fun there. But whatever you do, smile, because you're riding your bike. It's BMX and it's awesome. Well, thanks so much for watching this one. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.